Now, without further delay, I'd like to turn today's call over to your speaker, Mark Scott. Mark, you have the floor.
Great. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you guys for your time today. As Marvin mentioned, today we're going to be talking about customer service management on the ServiceNow platform. Our theme is increasing our customer satisfaction by resolving issues faster. I've got a couple of slides I'd like to walk through with you to kind of set up what we're going to talk about in today's presentation. First of all, when we talk about customer service management application was introduced on the ServiceNow platform about 4 versions ago. We've been slowly rolling it out in 2 different models. We'll talk about those shortly. I'm frequently asked, why did we come out with customer service management? Why don't we just use our incident problem and change what ServiceNow uses in IT service management? Big, big differences. I'm going to walk through this with you today. First of all, what we're trying to change is the old engagement model, or the old work model that we used to be in. In that work model, we have incidents, we have requests, we have cases, we have tasks. So that's the things that are happening in the back office, whether it's through IT, customer service, whether it's happening from HR, regardless of the area of business of the company. Now, the different departments that are going to handle those. IT traditionally with incidents, HR with cases, services, security with different types of tasks. Now, the problem that we had with that old work model, it's really, really disparaged. It's going through email. It's going through spreadsheets, forms, messengers, and phone calls. Extremely inefficient. We're generally using multiple systems, and there's no coordination with the back office. So what ServiceNow has done is we've brought out a new work model, making it easier for our end users to communicate with us and faster for us to get resolution on their issues. In that new work model, we brought this new system of action. Now, today what we're going to be talking about is 2 different types of fulfiller licensing. One is a requester. That's your customers. And those customers can be consumers or customers in a B2B model. And we have the actioners. And the actioners are going to be the customer service department. But it goes so much further than that. We'll talk about that. First of all, from the requester standpoint, a couple things we wanted to make available to our customers: self-service. Make it easy for them to go in, search out knowledge, create a case, look at information about their relationship with our business. Also make it possible for them to request services from us right directly from that portal, through that self-service portal. Also, something you're going to see today is also around machine notifications. And what we mean by those machine notifications is that your customer decides the way that they want to be notified and what they wish to be notified of from the services you're providing back to them, and doing it in a real-time source of truth, a single system of record. Now, on the actioner side, in the customer service department, here's the challenges we're faced with today: prioritizing, assigning to the proper people, automating actions, getting issues resolved. And a big difference with ServiceNow is collaboration. Collaboration in the back office. What I mean by that is when a customer opens up a case with you for investigation or for assistance, the work that needs to be done may be actually happening in the back office, maybe in IT, in a data center, a variety of different areas. Well, in most traditional customer service systems, that means a different application. That means swiveling from one screen to the next and having to go through 2 different systems. With ServiceNow, we can collaborate with people in the back office, giving them access and information from that customer service case. And the way that we do this today is with workflow and automation. When you think about customer service management, at its core, it's core service management. And the way I look at service management is it's a request for something, it's a workflow, it's completion, and it's measurable matrix to determine how you're delivering that service back. And at ServiceNow, we've been using workflow and automation in IT for the last 14 years. Now we're bringing it to other areas of the business. Now, part of what I want to talk about today is also what's happening in ServiceNow. How do we do this in ServiceNow? Now, the first thing I always preface in any of my presentations, ServiceNow is not a commercial software package. ServiceNow is a platform. And as a platform, we have applications sitting on our platform. And customers can subscribe to a variety of different things. Now, our service offerings started with IT service management, the incident, problem, change, and the CMDB. But it quickly spread to other areas of the business. Now we have service offerings from security, customer service, human resources, and other businesses in the company. And what that's simply doing is it's allowing those other areas of the business to utilize the ability to request, that workflow, and completion. Obviously, today we're going to be talking about customer service management. Now, one other note around customer service management on the ServiceNow platform is we offer it in two different models. In those models, one is a B2B, our business-to-business model, which I'll be demoing today, and also B2C, business to consumer. And as a consumer, you might be utilizing this particular type of model with things like your cable company, your cell phone, someplace where you go in, you put in your account number, you select your email address as your login and a password, and suddenly you have access to your account information, and you can do things through self-service. Now, either model works fine, and customers can use it in business-to-business and business-to-consumer simultaneously. But today what we're going to focus around is the business-to-business model. Now, as a part of those service offerings, we have platform capabilities. As I mentioned, we have applications sitting on the platform. On our platform capabilities, these are things that work with all applications on the platform. First of all, and what's most critical, is having that single database, your single system of truth, a very powerful workflow engine. And our workflow engine is completely customizable. The customers can drive the workflow the way that it fits their business. The service catalog. You're going to see today with the service catalog, not only can people open up a customer service case or an inquiry with the customer service department, they can use the service catalog to request different services from us. And again, those services come in as a request, the workflow, and lets us complete our customer's requests. And going through all this, we're going to have the service portal. With customer service management, we're operating with an omni-channel engagement model. Quite simply, what that means is the way that we interact with our customers, whether it's through chat, whether it's through CTI, through telephone integration, email, or coming directly into the portal. And the portal is also accessible by not only the desktop, but by mobile through the ServiceNow app. And that ServiceNow app is available on both Google Play and the App Store. As a subscription and notification, when customers subscribe to services from you, they can automatically subscribe to be notified when things are happening with those services proactively. We give our customers the ability of controlling what information they're going to receive and how they're going to receive it. And of course, that contextual collaboration. If we need to work with the back office, with the IT department, with other departments within the company. Now also predictive analysis. The analytical reporting and the static reporting we have on the platform is going to give us the ability of measuring our KPIs. How are we performing? And the knowledge base. If you give customers the ability of searching knowledge, they'll use it. We use knowledge every single day with search engines, such as Google and Yahoo and Bing. We do the same thing. We allow them to go out and search out for solutions before they have to contact us. And finally, developers' tools. And what those developers' tools allow you, the customer, to do with ServiceNow is to develop your own custom application on the ServiceNow platform, utilizing that same common data model. Now, the way that we do this is with our infrastructure. And with our cloud infrastructure, we have what we call the nonstop cloud. And quite simply, what that means when I talk about a nonstop cloud is the availability ServiceNow has to both you as our customer and to your customers. And the way that we offer that availability is through a multi-instance environment. ServiceNow has 16 data centers around the globe, and we pair those data centers. If you're in the United States, it's between California and Virginia, and they're mirroring each other in real time, 24/7. And we do that so if anything happens, if we need to do maintenance or you're having issues with your instance, we can swap you over to another data center while we work on the problem. To you, it's transparent. You're still up and running. You're not getting that screen saying, we'll be back. Closed for maintenance, we'll be back. When we've taken care of the maintenance or whatever type of repairs, we sync those back up again. To you, it's seamless. That's how we can provide you that availability. And also security and compliance. ServiceNow takes us very, very seriously protecting our customers' data. We can't turn on the television anymore without hearing about hacking and data breaches and security attempts on getting into systems. ServiceNow is certified on many security protocols, and we are constantly recertified on those protocols. Protecting our customers' data is paramount. And finally, scalability. From a scalability standpoint, whether you're a company of 100 people or you're reaching customers of 100,000, 500,000, a million customers, ServiceNow can scale with you. This isn't a solution where you're coming in today and having to replace it in a couple of years because it can't scale with you. Scalability is also very important. Now, finally, with this new way, we're going to provide you with a couple different areas I'd like to focus on. Effortless. Automating and personalizing that customer service experience through self-service. Staying connected. Of aligning, assigning, and resolving issues. Getting them to the proper people, getting them resolved as quickly as possible. More importantly, proactive. Monitoring and preventing issues before they become an issue. Utilizing third-party solutions to notify us when a problem is happening, sometimes before the customer is even aware of it. Now, when we do that, how this works, first of all, we make it easy for our customers to engage with us. Again, through that self-service portal. You can be calling in, email, chat, or coming right directly into that portal. And we reduce a lot of that case volume by utilizing self-service. How many times can a customer resolve their own issue without ever having to speak to somebody? That definitely drives down the work volume. The monitoring for issues, this is where we can work with, again, third-party solutions. They detect anomalies on services you're providing back to your customers and alert us right away and automatically create cases. And we let the back office go in and find out what's going on with those issues, get them resolved for the customer before the customer even knows that they're happening. Also, through that collaboration, being able to assign tasks across the company. Because again, customer service is that first line. That's the first place your customers are going to come to. There's usually a lot of things happening in the back end. We assign those tasks across the enterprise. Our goal, fix the issues and prevent future calls. Now today, in the presentation I'm going to do for you, I'm going to use a couple different personas. I want to show you how the system looks to Julie Lewis. She's our customer. Once again, we'll see how effortlessly and seamlessly she can monitor the things that her company is subscribing to from us. Receiving notifications, receiving updates, and offering self-service that's tailored to her. Not just a generic portal that we put out there, but something very specific to her. Then we'll talk about John and Jason. John's our Tier 1 customer service rep. He's the one that's going to be able to go in, working with multiple channels. He's going to have access to a lot of that customer's information very quickly and very easily. And he's going to collaborate with other departments, maybe through an incident, through a problem, or through a change. Finally, Lynn Reed, our Vice President of Customer Service. Lynn's got that one pane of glass that tells her everything that's happening with executive key performance indicators, monitoring the health from customers that are through an onboarding process and through a continual usage of services, and managing the processes aligning to those key metrics. So those are the areas we're going to talk about today. Again, if you guys have any questions during the course of the presentation, please feel free to put them in either the Q&A or the chat window, and we'll address those as we get a little bit further into today's presentation. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing that we want to talk about today is Lynn Reed. Stand credit, Julie Lewis. Sorry about that. I got a little ahead of myself. Let me just go ahead and share my screen here. Bear with me just one moment while I resize it on my desktop. There we go. Excellent. There we go. Now, one of the first things that we want to do is we want to put a portal out there for our customers to utilize. With this portal, this is completely configurable, and it's very specific to the customer's needs. Let me give you a couple examples. When I log into the system, it identifies Julie Lewis. She's our customer. On the very top of the screen, some issues that have been identified, things that are happening. Through network monitoring, we're monitoring the status of our different services. There's a service that's been identified that this customer utilizes from Peak Solutions, video conferencing, and right now it's currently unavailable. Now from this point, Julie doesn't have to do anything. She can stop at this point and say, we know there's an issue with the service that we're provided, and go about our business. Or she could open up a case. But again, this can deflect a case from ever being opened. Now, a couple of things I want to walk you through. Knowledge. We put knowledge right out in the center of the screen. By doing keyword search, you can go out and search knowledge articles. Not only can it search knowledge articles, it can search out the service catalog. It can also search out a community feature. And what the community feature is allowing us to do is our customers to talk to one another. There's a lot of intellectual knowledge between customers. ServiceNow customers use this extensively, but we allow our customers to interact on our platform with one another. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a look, first of all, at a knowledge article. When we go into the knowledge articles, it's showing who it's been created by, how long it's been out there, basic information about this particular event, in this case, video conferencing. Now, when we present knowledge articles, we can present these in a couple different ways. We can do this through a wiki format or through HTML. I can embed videos. I can embed audio or any electronic attachments into the knowledge article. Here's what I might need the customer to do is to download something or to watch something. Also, we ask our customers, was the information you received helpful? Because we report on this. We want to keep the information current, and we want to keep it relevant. If we don't, we stop using it. Finally, we ask them to rate the article. What type of relevance do you find this? Important information to us to help us keep this current and keep it relevant. Also, the knowledge is completely role-based. What I mean by that is the information that Julie sees is specific to her company. Different knowledge articles that she can look at are very specific and very unique. I think it's more frustrating, again, than going out and finding things that have nothing to do with what the customer is looking for. So in this case, I've got all the different knowledge articles open for both customer service and consumer service. It gives you an opportunity to see if we can really be very, very specific on what our customers see and keeping that information updated, keeping it current. So knowledge is our first level. Also, we have the community. From the community, this is where I can go out and look at what other people are saying. In this case, we have a couple different things that are out here. Routers overheating, the person that submitted it, and how long it's been sitting out there. Also, how many times that article has been viewed. When we click and go into that information, what this can also show me is different suggestions. Again, this is a way to allow you to go out there with your customers and get information relevant for them. Sharing that information, not just from your own customer service, but from your other users. Oops, just one second, I just logged myself out. There we go, sorry about that. Clicked a little bit too quickly for myself there. So those are the first two things, knowledge management. The other thing is being proactive. In that proactivity, you notice we have current status. Now with current status, there are services that our customer subscribes to from us. In this case, a video conferencing system. And right now, there's an outage that's been reported. We know something is wrong with it. Why is it popping up here for Julie? Because it's very specific. It's a service that they are subscribing to. This is how we make it personalized for them. Also, any open cases that she might have, and contracts. If they're a customer of ours, they've signed a contract negotiating services, costs, and uptime, they can even go and review their contracts with us. Any planned maintenance schedule for their services, even information from our social feeds. How many open cases they currently have, average time for resolution, and we also provide some services that require licenses. They have 3,000, they're currently using 930. So it really lets your customer be very, very proactive on a lot of the information that are regarding them. Now, the other thing we have, the service catalog. Now, we already know there's a problem with telepresence. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But I can also go in and request services from Peak Solutions. Maybe creating another contact, submitting an idea, maybe they need additional services. And what these will do is allow our customer to request services, sometimes revenue-generating services. Those requests will kick off a workflow. We'll use automation. We'll assign them to the proper person, and we'll get the customer's issues resolved. It's a great opportunity for customers needing to do maintenance on things that we're providing for them, but also upsell opportunities, different services that are available for them. Now, I did mention that Julie was having the proper telepresence. So what I'm going to do is go in and request some help. When I request help, I'm going to create a customer service case. First thing we have is our account, Cyberdyne Global. Now, in this business-to-business model, Cyberdyne and Peak Solutions are customers for one another, providing a service back to Cyberdyne Global. And Julie is a representative from Cyberdyne Global. She's one of those authorized people that can call into Peak Solutions for assistance. Now, here's what makes ServiceNow different. In most customer service systems, we don't look at the assets or the services that are being provided. Here what we ask for is, what is the asset or the product? And we provide two different services back to this customer. We provide video conferencing, and we provide business intelligence suite. When we're able to associate the specific asset or the specific product, we then start measuring the performance of that asset. And this, again, is tying into asset management on the ServiceNow platform. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select Peak Solution Conferencing System. Finally, what's the priority? And the priority is going to be important because in our contract with our customer, they may have different levels of service that they can purchase. Platinum service, gold service, diamond service. And each one of those entitlements give them different features and capabilities, such as 24/7 support, or maybe web-only support, or maybe knowledge-only support. We've also guaranteed, as a part of that service, uptime. In this case, we've got an uptime contract with this customer. If they're coming in with a high priority, we're going to have notifications firing off like crazy. Because if we don't get this resolved in the time that we set in our contract, we owe them. So we definitely want to make sure that this is prioritized appropriately and give our customer the opportunity to prioritize that. Finally, I'm going to go and put my subject line. Now, when we're doing this today, this is just a form. You can ask for as much or as little information on the form as necessary. We've got a pretty simple by design here. Again, you can ask for anything. From here, I just need to submit my information in the system. Let that workflow kick off. Something else we do a little different at ServiceNow. We want this experience for our customer to be very consumerized. Easy to use, easy to read. This is my open case. This does not look like a ticket. This does not look like a case. It's an interaction. Is the information that Julie has provided? Let's say there's a priority 1. It's new, customer service case, and whatever information we want to share back with our customer. Now, through those notifications, our customer may get a push notification to their phone, a text message, or an email acknowledging that we have opened up a case for them, and we'll be responding back to them as soon as possible. If they're responding back by email, they get that email notification, they can simply click reply and send it back and it will update the case. We want to make it easy for our customer to interact with us. Also, any updates. It's almost like sending a text message. It couldn't be easier. And some other information we capture, location. We use geolocation in our system, whether through the browser or through the mobile app. And through that geolocation, if your customer is in multiple locations, and we have to dispatch somebody to them, we know where they're at. Finally, any attachments, any documentation, screenshots, any type of log files, any type of information Julie needs to send in, she can automatically attach to her case. Again, we want to make it simple and easy. And finally, the last way of interacting with us is through chat. And the chat works through the mobile app or it works directly from the browser. Now that chat window will pop open during business hours. We have it set up 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can set it up any way that you'd like. Let the person know what the average wait time is. A brief message letting them know we'll be with them shortly. And it puts it into a queue over in the customer service group. I'll follow up on that here in just a couple moments. So again, our goal here is the way that we're going to communicate with our customer. We want to make it simple. We want to make it easy. We want to provide them with a really easy experience, a user-friendly experience. That's the way we look at things today from the customer service side, from the customer. Now what I'd like to do is switch over, and we're going to go ahead and log into the system as John Jason. John Jason's our customer service agent. He's the one that's going to be handling those inquiries that are coming in. One of the first things John is presented back is a dashboard, an agent dashboard. Number of open cases, first contract resolution, case backlog. And these reports are all written for ServiceNow reports. Again, we want to keep these simple, and they're updating on a regular basis. Now he's got a couple different types of dashboards you can look at. Maybe one from a customer service manager's perspective, showing completely different information. Customer satisfaction surveys, open cases, work efficiency, completely configurable. Also from that queue, John has the ability of going into a customer service queue, whether consumer service and customer service. We'll touch more on that shortly. Now, one of the first things that we want to do from John's perspective is we want to go out and take a look and see cases that are open. He has his own cases, he has customer service cases. When we go out and look at the customer service queue, it shows us whether a list of his own tickets, whatever type of tickets he wants to look at, the cases that are coming in, again, completely configurable. Now, you notice a couple things on here is contact information, who the account is, how it's coming in. This, again, is completely configurable by the customer service agent. And I can go in and change my information quickly and easily. There's everything that I'm looking at, anything that I want to add in here, by simply going in and doing the checkbox. Now, the reason that I wanted to show this is we want to make the experience for customer service as consumerized as we've made for the customer. And we've done that. We're taking this list of tickets, creating visual task boards. The reason I showed you that column is I can create a task board by simply coming into my column, right-clicking, and completely changing the way I'm looking at those cases. Much more user-friendly, much easier way of viewing my information. I'll let that go ahead and build here for just a second. I've got a lot of records in here. It's going to take a couple seconds. Also, when we use the visual task boards, it also renders really nice on an iPad. And just because it's another way of looking at the same type of information. We'll give that a couple seconds to pop up. Now, as we go through this information, the information John is looking at is completely configurable. If I like my list of tickets, if I like my visual task board, I can do it either way. There we go. So on my task boards, what this shows me, everybody in the customer service department and all the cases that are open. In this case, I did it based on company. So I can see the number of cases we have open with Avid, with in-and-out routing, with advanced routing, a variety of our different customers. And it gives you a lot of different ways of looking at information. When we click into this, it takes us into what we call our visual task board view. Go in, make any type of updates that I need. I need to close this case or escalate this case. Just click on the case number, and it switches the format over into a traditional case view. Again, we want to make it really simple, make it user-friendly. Also, on the top of the screen, these are all the customer service reps that currently have cases that are open. And by clicking on their name, it'll allow me to go in and filter down on specific cases. Now, you can do it through the visual task boards, which is a great way to look at the information. And by the way, we can use visual task boards anywhere on the ServiceNow platform. I have to be showing it today around cases, but I can use it anywhere I can get a list of records. Let's go and take a look at the ticket that we just opened up here from Julie Lewis. Now again, what we want to be able to provide John with, as he's taking a look at this, is a lot of information about our customer without doing a lot of clicks. First thing you notice, special handling notes. Anything we need to know about this customer. And this can also be placed in different areas on the form, but we want to make it easy to read, simply in this case a pop-up. there's an urgent issue that's been reported, and there's some changes in the entitlement. Just some basic information I want to know when I'm working with this customer. Who the person is that opened this, information about the customer, timeline of when this started, even information about the service level agreement that I have with them. I've got 8 hours to get this resolved before we start owing them money back. So I want to make sure that this gets resolved quickly. The first thing that I want to take a look at down here, a little hard to see here, but is contract and entitlement. There's kind of a green blocks on there. I apologize for making it a little hard to read. This is what makes our customer service system a little bit different. We do have a contract with this customer, and in this case, you're entitled to 24/7 support. And maybe they bought a different level of service. Maybe it's only 8 to 5 Monday through Friday support. Doesn't mean they can't open a case. It just means that we won't begin working on that case until they're within their entitlement hours. Also, information about the asset. In this case, video conferencing system. And based on this information in my short description, the system can also go in and search the knowledge base. Now, a couple of things I want to take a look at. All my special handling notes. Anything that's going to pop up on here when urgent issues are here, it's a VIP account, there's changes in entitlements. So I didn't see that pop-up window. I had it listed in a different location. Just very quickly, anything I need to know about special handling. All my updates from the customer. And finally, my service level agreement. This is that agreement we have with the customer. We need to resolve things in 8 hours. And currently, we are in progress 6 minutes into this. Now, let's just say, for example, here, that we find that the system's not down. They're just having some trouble getting in. We need to lower the severity. There may still be a problem, but we just need to lower our severity down. We come in here, change this to a lower severity. And what ServiceNow will do is go in, and based on that entitlement, we'll adjust my SLA accordingly. Now what I can see as I scroll down to the bottom of the screen, my priority 1 SLA was canceled. We did it in 9 minutes. We had 7 hours and 50 minutes remaining. We stayed compliant with our SLA, and now we are in a priority 3 or priority 4. We have 5 days to resolve the issue. And these SLAs can be driven based on any conditions in the system. Now, something else that happened is tasks. The system has automatically gone in and generated a task that needs to be done. This is part of that workflow. In this case, we need to go in and we need to do some triage. From SLA over to John, just the actions he needs to take to try and resolve the customer's issue. Also, we tie in with CTI. If you're in a call volume, an ACD phone environment where people are dialing in, you can use an IVR system. People can punch in their ticket number, their case number, whatever the case may be, automatically route that phone call to the appropriate person. If I place a call out to the customer, it logs the information. You want to set up an appointment. Maybe you want to call the customer back on Monday, maybe another time next week, maybe later this week. I can go in and set up an appointment record. Automatically pop up sending an activity letting me know I need to follow back up with my customer. Also, each time we communicate with our customer, sending out an email notification. In this case, we've made some changes. Every time we do something, in this case, we can send an email notification, or if the customer responds back to us. How many times do you have a customer service department where you have a general mailbox where you have to go and search everything to see if the customer's corresponded with you? Challenging at best. Also, any of the related cases that the customer has, maybe not necessarily around this issue, but just open for this customer in general. Any problems will be related. Problem management, root cause analysis. That's where we're working with the back office. There's a problem that's been associated to the case. We can see what that specific problem was. And what we're doing with this is through a workflow. Here's my case triage. Got a very simple one. Started it, created a task. When the task is done, my workflow is finished. I can make a very comprehensive type of workflow. Approvals maybe, different types of tasks. But it's easy to go in and create those different types of workflows. Now, one other thing that I want to share with you is when I go in here, emailing back out to my customer. I want to send them a notification out to my customer. Again, the way we do it today, we go into Outlook, we log into a generic mailbox, and information out to them. Requires us going searching a mailbox. copying and pasting a lot of information. Right from here, it's showing who the person is, the name, copying it for myself, my subject. I can change any of that. I can also go in and have quick messages or different types of templates, or simply type in a message. Send it out. And it goes out right directly through the system. So now when I come back in here, I take a look at my form again, I can see that that had some email notifications, both incoming and outgoing. Each time we send an email and who it's gone to and what it was about. Now, part of what I want to do today is I'm going to kind of keep this relatively simple. I'm going to go ahead and accept this because we have a clock that's ticking. Now it changes it from new to open, and it shows a timeline of how much time it's taking to move from stage to stage. In this case, I already knew that there was a problem. Now, another way I can do this, in my knowledge results, no an issue. Video conferencing, not working. I'm applying a patch to it, make the customer aware of it. Attach the knowledge article right directly to the case. And the other thing that I can do is propose a solution back to the customer. There we go. Type in my solution. Propose a solution back out to my customer. Now, once I do this, I'll place my case in a resolved state. Customer gets notifications, whether they're push notifications, however they've chosen to receive that type of information. In this case, when I come in here to my notifications, I'm going to do a real quick refresh. There we go. My customer might get a push notification to their phone. They might get a text message notification. And it's simply letting them know we've done an update. We suggested a solution for them. We might have resolved their issue. And we're going to give the customer the opportunity to acknowledge back to us whether this does indeed solve their issues. Just a couple seconds here. Looks like we're having some latency in our internet connection. We'll come back over here and switch back to this here in just a couple moments. While we're waiting for that to refresh, last thing I want to take you into is going to be talking about our customer service manager. In this case, Lynn Reed, she's the manager of customer service. From Lynn's perspective, Lynn needs that one pane of glass. She needs to know what's going on in the department in general. So first of all, let me walk you through a couple things that we have on this dashboard. Again, analytical, customer's experience, performance, workload. And again, because this is analytical, we can go into specific dates and times and how we were performing, showing trending information. More importantly, some other KPIs. How often are knowledge articles viewed? What is our customer service satisfaction score? What is our net promoter score? First time to resolution, how people are rating knowledge articles. This, in most cases, if it's even available at all, is in multiple systems. Very hard to get this type of information. But Lynn, on a single pane of glass, can see everything she needs to see about the customer service department, and it's continually updating. Also, product analysis. When we're dealing with product analysis, I want to share this because this is an area in many cases where customer support actually can work with both marketing and sales. Because whether we realize it or not, they're very tightly tied together. If sales is running a particular campaign or marketing is running a campaign, that can really drive the call volume coming into customer support. Because that's where our customers come to us for information. So I can see how our customer satisfaction is kind of going down a little bit. Month-to-date sales, we can tie in with our CRM system. Also any campaigns that are happening. Open cases, priority one cases. Another thing is how the data we're presenting back to our customers is being viewed. Now in this case, we have new cases, use into the knowledge base, and our mean time to resolution is 7 days. These are also interactive. I can start taking these out. I can see how knowledge is really being viewed a lot, writing a lot of content. How is that impacting case volume? Tremendously. dropping case lengths substantially. And how are we doing on closing cases within 7 days? We're trending down. That's where we want to be. We want to get these closed sooner. Also, how are our customers engaging with us? Is it through chat, through telephone, through the web? So I can go in and see what channel they're coming in through. If a lot of people are coming in through chat or the web, we may want to change our website, add more data out there for our website, make customers aware that they can come in through chat. So again, it just lets us get a look to see how our customers are interacting with us. Also, rankings. Again, I think rankings are really, really important because what I want to know is how these customers are ranking as far as sales are concerned. These customers are keeping the lights on, but the revenue we're getting from these customers, this is what's fueling the company. So customer service really wants to see who those customers are and how they're ranking. Finally, an area that is often ignored is onboarding. When we hear the word onboarding, we always assume it means HR and somebody's being hired into the company. But from an onboarding standpoint, when a customer becomes a customer of ours, we want to make sure the experience is a positive one for them. We want to kind of keep an eye on them as they're getting comfortable, learning who we are, we're learning who they are. So I've got it set up. If some new accounts that are starting, drill into that information, see who that new customer is. Find out information about them. Give Lynn a high-level overview of Cyberdyne Global, who they are, any specific information about them, asset information, cases, incidents. So it gives us a good high-level overview of everything that's happening with them, and also from that dashboard, cases that are being opened for our customer. Bear with me just one second. I got a little bit of latency here with my internet connection. I apologize for that. There we go. But from this new customer, we've also had 3 new cases that have been opened. I can go in and see one's closed, another brand new one, and one that's being resolved. I want to make sure during that transition period, that customer coming on board, that we're taking care of them, we're getting their issues resolved as quickly as possible. So a lot of data that's available right directly from Lynn's dashboard. Now let's pop back over here with Julia so I can get Julia to pop back up here on my screen. Just one second while we try and get her back and reconnected. I apologize if we're having some really slow performance today. There we go. Last thing I want to take you through. Julia got notified. We resolved her issue through notification. We also got some new contacts added, but what we're going to focus on right now is that case that John just presented. The knowledge article, you can get back to her, letting her know that should resolve their issue. One thing we ask her to do is accept our solution or reject our solution. If she rejects that solution, the case goes back as open and it routes back over to John. That did not solve the problem for the customer. Let the customer have that decision of whether it worked or whether it didn't work. And in this case, it did. Solved the problem. It's back up and running. She accepts the solution. Makes it closed loop. One last thing we want to do is we'd like to ask her how the experience was. Now, we can send her an email with a link. She can go out, log in. Most people don't like to click on links anymore because of, malware and hacking. So this way, once she accepts it, automatically pop up the survey screen. And she can go in, take the survey, the satisfaction survey, and we can immediately capture information as to how her experience was with us. And what that also does is take the case into closure. So we actually went full circle with it. One thing that we really wanted to do for her was to be able to go into the system and allow her the opportunity of opening up her case, submitting her case information, giving John the ability of viewing that information, and finally, from Lynn's perspective, what's going on in the customer service department? How are we doing? How are we doing with our customers? How are we closing cases? What does our workload look like? So at a very high level, we walked through 3 completely separate personas. So with that, we're coming up about the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and pause here and take a look and see if we have any questions that have popped out into the queue. All right. So I do have a couple of questions that are out here in the queue today. Let's go ahead and take a look at those questions that we have. Let me just go ahead and stop my sharing here, and I'll come out into the queue. Okay, so my first question that I had, is ServiceNow a full SaaS solution, or is there an on-prem offer as well? So the answer to that question is ServiceNow is completely a SaaS solution. We do not offer on-premise. So everything that we're going to do, we're going to be doing in the cloud for you. So that's a great question, and we get that question a lot. Huge, huge advantages to that. You know, not having to maintain anything, not having to have the infrastructure on the back end. And of course, anytime you talk about on-prem versus in the cloud, it's generally because of security-related issues. People don't want to put their data out in the cloud. And that's why, from a security standpoint, we're very, very focused on the security and the protection of our customers' data. Another question I have here is around ServiceNow's compliance with GDPR. So, John, I'm going to reply back to you directly on that. I don't have that answer for you right now. I will respond back to you directly on that. But I appreciate that question. Another question that I have here in the queue that's coming in, when did we actually come out with the customer service management? Obviously, ServiceNow has been around for a long time. We actually came out with this about 2 years ago. We've slowly been introducing new features, new functionalities with the platform, but we came out with it about 2 years ago. And our current release that I'm showing today is in our Kingston release. All of our releases are in alphabetical order. We name them after cities. We're currently in Kingston today. We've got London coming after the first of next year, so we're very aggressive on our upgrades. But what I'm showing you today is specifically around the Kingston release. That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Okay, and that looks like that's the only questions that I have that are out in the queue. So with that, I will go ahead and we'll wrap. Just a real quick plug here that we'll put in for our Knowledge 18 conference. It's going to be happening next month in Las Vegas. If you have an opportunity, I highly recommend customers to attend, prospects to attend this. It is such a learning experience that we have at the Knowledge Conference. We're going to be talking about everything we're offering today, as well as things that we're going to be doing in the future, and customer service management is definitely playing a huge part in our service offerings. So that looks like all the questions that I have. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Marvin, I'll go ahead and switch this back over to you.
Great. Thanks so much, Mark. And ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's webinar. Thank you for joining us, and you may now all disconnect. Have a great day.